I learned today from talking to Doug Hill from the Norman Transcript that when they were doing productions like plays and stuff at I can't remember if it was the Boomer Theater or Sooner Theater or whatever it was, Sooner Theater. That he went to a production there, and they were having audio issues with their microphones and whatnot, and he couldn't hear well enough. So he goes and buys all brand new wireless stuff and gives it to them so they can put on proper productions.
That's the kind of guy he was, you know.
And then I don't want to go without talking about his foundation and Allie's House and the organizations that he donated to that fight childhood cancer.
Right.
Well, see, this was so cool when he came in and did this because, you know, after Toby got big, he didn't play around Oklahoma City much. He played everywhere else.
He kind of got his feelings hurt because that didn't the people didn't support him.
Supporting,
you know, they say
he could go to Wichita, he could go to Dallas, he could go anywhere else.
I seen it in action. I seen it by when we started booking the casinos, and for the longest time, you know, it took us forever to get him to play Miami at the Buffalo Run outside. It took us forever to play in Durant, you know.
But
Oklahoma.
when he did this, I mean, he jumped into this, you know, wholeheartedly, and he called a lot of these people and got them here, you know.
And but when he, you know,
but he was also a big part of the second tornado relief show in Norman.
So as my company, we started doing business. You know, like I said, it took us a minute to get him in the casinos, but when he got there, you know what? His numbers were good, better than the city, and he got into playing it, and we had him a few times. And as I got into production, you know, I started doing events. I mean, there were times that we went to his house, and my company was able to, we'd put together these fashion shows for this lady, and, you know, it'd be at his house, but you're there, and you could just see how the guy lived. But then the other things that my company and myself have been a part of was when the tornado hit the second time in
2000.
It's 10 years ago, 2014.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 2014 comes and the tornado, and you know, Blake did a show at the Paycom with wasn't the Flaming Lips and
I can't remember
a few other bands on there, but he did his there.
And there was one at the Diamond.
And there was one at the Diamond.
With Kenny Wayne Shepherd and Keb' Robert Randolph.
You know, and we're talking more. And it was kind of like the vibe was, what is Toby going to do?
And didn't Jeff Keith also didn't Tesla do a show, and Jeff Keith donated a bunch of money for the show?
And so, you know, it got
while wearing his Ida Bell Pride shirt.
You know that.
Where's it all the time in Durant? Where's it all the time in Durant? So,
Tessa, here's the deal.
There's Jeff.
So then, and I was working for the University of Oklahoma, like I'm doing, and there was talks about they were going to do an event. Toby wanted to do an event. And, you know, then they called Howard Pollack, and the lady, Lloyda, who for many years I worked for, sweetheart. But our reputation as the Fabulous Baker Boys of being able to do everything, the university wasn't just going to let anybody come and work. And so they asked me, hey, Max Baker Jr., can you handle this? Can you build this? Can you do this? You know, they flew in some guys from that had this steel stage, and I mean,
because it was a massive stage.
I was handed probably the hardest job I've ever had to throw together in my life.
I remember your posts on Facebook every single day at various times. I need 45 people.
You know,
Who wants to work?
But and you know,
Let me ask you something, Max. Was that the first show that played Owens Field after the Stones?
yes,
No.
U2.
U2 Black Eyed Peas.
That's right. Okay.
Yeah, and
okay.
then that was the other. But here's the thing.
So that's
I don't
like
I don't think any of that came into play. Toby wanted to do it. Everybody, the athletic department was all over it.
Right.
And you know, I can remember going into the meetings.
Joe Castiglione was a different athletic director than OU had ever had previously.
Right.
He got it. He saw the big picture. Whereas the previous athletic directors, they didn't really want to do music. They were forced to a couple of times, but they didn't really want to mess with it.
But when that show came about, and they're like, Max, can you do this? And you know, it's like we donated a lot of the money back to people. I had people on my crew that lived in Moore that lost everything.